Alright, so first things first, I made myself small here in the corner. Here we are looking at the dashboard of our YouTube channel. As you can see, at this current time we have 15,500 subscribers, and we have put out a total of 224 videos. That number right there is going to be important because we're going to average across all of those videos how much money we've made. So let's take a look at our analytics, which I have open here. And this is what our views, you can see here on the y-axis, these are our views, starting all the way back here in 2009, and I'll explain why that is in just a second. And then here you really start to see a lot of views popping up in the past few years. I think 2020 is really when things started picking up, and I'll explain sort of how that happened. So the reason that this goes all the way back to 2009 is because when we started this channel, it was actually Danny's YouTube channel that he had put a couple videos out back in the day, and he had maybe like 100 subscribers or something like that. So we decided it would give us a head start if we just built off of that channel, so we did that. But as you can see, there really wasn't any activity in these first like 9 years. We really didn't get started until 2017. So I'm going to change the date range here to 2017, and we're just going to go from like January 1st. Damn it, January 1st, 2019 to I guess we'll go December 31st of 22. That way we're working with whole years. All right, so this is really looking more at once we really started getting going with Swamp and Stomp. One thing you'll notice is if we look at this is basically our money. This is how much money our YouTube channel has made basically from the beginning until the end of 2022. So that's 6 months short of where we're at right now. So that's $8,492. It's probably a lot lower than what you were imagining. But one thing I want you to notice, if I sort this by estimated revenue per video, and it's probably not for nothing that the ones that make the most money seem to always be the ones involving alligators. I think that's just because it draws people in from all over the place and not just Florida hunters. But so the one where Danny had to shoot at an alligator to keep it away, that one has got just over 1 million views. That one by itself has made about $3,000. And then the one where John harvests the absolute behemoth of a alligator has made about $760. Other than that, there's a few deer hunting ones. Here's one where Danny shot a nice buck with his bow, $300. Here's another one, $200, so on and so forth. But keep in mind that we have 224 videos. So when we calculate the average of this number across 224 videos, we're basically ending up with an average of about $38 per video. And again, keeping in mind that the majority of the money that's made is only a few videos. So most of the videos you do aren't really going to make a lot. But we're averaging it out here, $38 per video. Now, let's break that down a little bit further. Each video, editing, well, let's forget about the filming aspect of it for now, because a lot of times we enjoy filming the videos. Now, if it's a video like this, it's not really fun per se. If they're instructional videos or something or gear reviews, it's not necessarily fun. It's more work. But when we're hunting, we enjoy doing that, so you can kind of ignore it. But regardless, I would say that making a video will take you anywhere from 4 to 8 hours of work. I think a lot of people will be pretty surprised to know how much time actually goes into a video. The editing takes up the majority of the time. I would say that on average, you're probably spending 6 hours per video, anywhere from 4 to 8 hours realistically. And that's not including the filming of the hunt itself. That part's fun, so I'm not going to count that. But anyway, so if you take that $38 per video, you divide that by 6. Now we've come to a grand total of $6.30 per hour of work that you've put into those videos. It's not a lot. And granted, this is over the course of like 6 years, no, 5 years of work. So for the first 5 years, you can expect to make an average of about $6.30 per hour of work. But I will say that the return on your investment, your work invested, increases over time. And in fact, there's a period at the beginning of your channel where you don't make anything. In fact, if you look at this graph right here, this point right here, this is where right around when we released this video that I'm highlighting here, it's the Hunter Stops Alligator Attack. It's the one where Danny had to shoot at an alligator. That video, we released it like the week before we reached 1,000 subscribers. And YouTube requires you to have 1,000 subscribers before you can monetize. So you can't make any money until you have at least 1,000 subscribers. Now remember, we released that video about a week before we hit the 1,000, and then that video sort of accelerated the last bit of subscribers to hit 1,000. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we immediately monetized the channel, and that video started blowing up. And so you can see that blue line here, you know, it's dwarfing all the other lines that are down here. You can't even see them because that video got so many views. So for a while, that video was the only thing that was really making any money on our channel. You know, you can see here at some point it was getting, you know, I don't know, like it was like 80 to like $100 in a day. But you know, everything is cyclic in YouTube. You get these peaks. It's never continuous. So, but anyway, so up until that point, we didn't make any money, but we had already put together 50 videos before we actually monetized. So that means that if we're averaging 6 hours per video, we're talking about 50 videos times 6 hours. We're talking about 300 hours of work for free before we could even monetize. Now that said, some of those videos, you know, you still monetize them. So after you hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, those videos can start making money. But the reality is they're probably not going to be your best videos because it's going to be at the beginning of your YouTube channel and you're still learning how to do it. So they're not really going to make a lot of money. Another thing to think about is that our channel in general has like a peak period. It's going to be from July through October is when a lot of people are watching our channel. You know, that's when people are interested in hunting, and so that's when the majority of our views happen. The rest of the season, or the rest of the year, we're usually putting together instructional videos that, you know, some of our main followers will watch, but we don't really make much money during that off-season period. Now, eventually, those videos that we made in the off-season will start getting watched or viewed again once the season starts to pick up. So I have found that even though when we initially release those videos, they don't make very much money, over time, they actually tend to do pretty well. So just to give you an example of that, you know, here, these are some harvest videos. This is another harvest video that did extremely well. But then here, this is a DIY how to build an archery target. When I made this, it barely got any views, but over time, it's become really popular because people are searching for those DIY things. And so over time, it's gotten 25,000 views. And in the off season, this one's actually one of our biggest money makers. I think we're probably overall bringing in maybe like $100 a month in the off season. It's not very much. And you'll see here again, you know, aside from these top 3, which are all harvest videos, after that, these are all, well, this is a harvest video, but for the most part, we're seeing a lot of instructional videos and reviews and things like that, until finally we start getting into here, where some of the harvest videos are again. So I guess the point of saying that is don't forget about those videos. They might not give you that instant gratification of getting a lot of views right off the bat, but oftentimes they do help out the channel. So if you're gonna make a channel, make sure you got some useful content in there as well. So at this point, you might be wondering, how much do you get paid per view? And that's not really how YouTube does it, because it really kind of depends on the video. A longer video is going to have more commercial breaks, and therefore it's going to produce more ad revenue. But the video does have to be compelling and keep people's attention, because otherwise they're just not going to watch it. But so let's just go with the rule of averages again. So let's look at this this second video here. This is the biggest alligator ever harvested. So in total, it has made $758. Let's divide that by the number of views, which is 132,168, and we get 0.0057. All right, so let's multiply that out by 1,000. It's going to give us a slightly more tangible number. So went ahead and did that, and we get $5.74 per 1,000 views, which is actually really good. It's gotten a lot better. YouTube has improved the ad revenue for YouTubers. I remember when we first got started, it was probably 10% of that. I think we were getting like 50 cents per view. So it's probably a little higher than that now, but it's still not a lot. Especially considering the majority of our videos get a few thousand views, and then some of the harvest videos get quite a bit more than that. So at this point you might be thinking, holy crap, a YouTube channel might not be worth it. It really doesn't make much money. Are there any other ways to make money with a YouTube channel? And yes, there are. The next question becomes, how many views do you need to get on your YouTube channel to actually make a real living? So in today's economy, you probably need to make about $80,000 a year to really take care of yourself and be able to live properly. So let's take that $80,000 and divide by that $5.74 per 1,000 views. That'll tell us how many thousands of views we need. So 80,000 divided by 5.57 gives us 14,400. Now keep in mind, that's not how many views you need to get. We still got to multiply that by 1,000. So you need to be getting 14 million views to make $80,000 through a YouTube channel. And just to put that into perspective, over the course of the 5 or 6 years that we've been doing this, we have gotten just under 2.8 million views. So we haven't even gotten 1/6 of what you would need to make any kind of a living. So that of course brings up the question, are there any other ways that you can make money with a YouTube channel? And yes there are. Let's talk about those. Probably the best thing that you can do is get sponsors. Now realistically, you want to get a sponsor, like a title sponsor, that's going to give you money to represent their gear. Now, some of the more popular or more successful YouTube channels out there, like The Hunting Public, Blue Gabe, Deer Meat for Dinner, they all have one thing in common. They have sponsors that back them a flat rate, but that flat rate is significant. It's basically an entire salary. I'm not going to give away numbers, although I have talked to some of them, but we're talking a full-on annual salary every year, and that gives you a safety net to focus on your YouTube channel to really blow it up. And unfortunately, to make that happen, you got to make connections. And that old saying that people always bring up, it's all about who you know, it really counts when it comes to a YouTube channel. Because the fact of the matter is, nobody wants to help you get famous or make your channel successful, because they've worked really hard to make their channel successful. So you have to figure out a way to fight your way to the top, and it's not easy because there's a lot of YouTube channels out there nowadays. Pair that up with the fact that there's a lot of people out there that are willing to do this stuff just for discounts on gear. Most companies are just not that willing to pay large amounts of money for advertising through YouTube channels anymore. And I don't necessarily blame those companies. It's become so easy to find people that are willing to spread the word about their products across the internet that I think in a lot of cases it's not worth it to invest a lot of money on single YouTube channels unless they're really, really big. But I will say, for those of you that run companies, micro influencers, so the YouTube channels that are in the size range that we are at, anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000 subscribers, they actually tend to have more influence on their viewers, and so you actually get a much higher percentage turnaround on sales working with those companies. Now that said, we have made a vow from the beginning of time that we would not represent any companies that we don't actually believe in ourselves, because we're really not in this thing for the money. And if you're going to start a YouTube channel, I advise you to do the same thing, because the last thing that you want to be known for is being a company that flip flops all over the place and will take a dollar from anybody who's willing to give it to then boost their sales. That's not what we're about. That's not what you should be about. We really like to do this because we enjoy it, and we're looking for, companies that make good products that we would advise our friends to use as well. So I could go on and on about this, but I think you guys get the picture. There's not a lot of money in the YouTube game, especially in the early stages, unless you're able to get a big boost to where you're, got several 100,000 subscribers and you're getting millions and millions of views every month. It's not going to make you any money. That said, if you were thinking about starting a YouTube channel because you just wanted to, get some discounts or free gear, probably a better route for you would be to see if you can contribute to an already existing channel and take advantage of some of the relationships that they've already created. But that's probably going to be your best bet if what you're trying to do is just get yourself some discounts and free stuff. I promise you the amount of work that goes into starting a YouTube channel definitely outweighs just going out and buying the gear yourself. So just something to keep in mind. I hope you guys found this helpful. And I'm sure I didn't answer a lot of questions. So if you have more questions, just put them down in the comments. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. And as I said at the beginning of the video, the YouTube algorithms don't really like hunting channels, so they don't really push us that hard. So we really rely on you guys to spread the word for us. So please share this video with a friend of yours that you think might be interested in our channel. We would really appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.